Okay, so today we're looking at Class 1 cavity preparations, and the first tooth that we're going to look at is this lower right 4, the lower right first permanent premolar, or tooth 4-4. Class 1 cavities are confined to the occlusal surface of a tooth, so we're just going to mark out with a pencil where this is likely going to be, and generally speaking for these premolars, the caries will start in the little pits of the tooth. Sometimes this preparation is called snake eyes, because sometimes it can just end up as two little dots that are in the teeth. Sometimes we have to include the little fissure as well that goes between the two dots. Most of the time we do, because of the way that caries will spread within a tooth. We like to try and avoid breaking through the ridge because it weakens the tooth structurally. For this cavity preparation, I'm going to be using this burr. It's a 541 diamond. It's approximately 4 millimeters in length. So I know that whenever we make our initial punch cut like we're doing here, if I get this to about half the depth of the burr, or maybe even a little bit less, I know then we're going to be about 2 millimeters in the tooth, which is going to be adequate depth for our restorative material, whether or not we're choosing to restore this with composite or amalgam. The teeth start to burn a little bit here whenever we start with them. So I'm just going to go back in and I'm just going to tidy that up, and you'll see that we have 2 punch cuts, one in either pit. Now quite often clinically caries will not just stick to these two, and the ridge will have to be included within the prep. So for the sake of the video, we're going to go back in and we're going to join now the two dots together, which would be the next step of our cavity preparation here. It's important here to maintain the depth that you've already created with your 2 punch cuts. So keeping your burr along the floor of that cavity and just dragging that with kind of gentle sweeping or pushing motions against the ridge now, and you'll be able to maintain that depth quite easily then. It's always important just to clear away any of the dust every so often, just to see where you are, and use your explorer like we will here, just to check the walls of the cavity, the floor of the cavity, see what depth you're at, and you're checking for any little rough spots or any imperfections that would be in the cavity floor or in the cavity wall. If you do find any, like there's a little bit here, I just go back in with your burr, and you can use the burr on a slower speed just to refine those areas. If we're doing this for an amalgam preparation, we might want to refine the walls a little bit further so that there is occlusal convergence, because amalgam will only stay in the tooth by mechanical retention. And we want to have those walls nice and smooth with a little bit of convergence then as well. And turning the handpiece down and making it a little bit slower is really good for getting those walls nice and smooth. But generally speaking here, we're coming quite close to the end of our prep. It's quite a nice one, quite an easy one to start with. So I'll say thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.